Hey Muffins, I've got a subscriber request for a tips and tricks on the RU251. Can be challenging, but we'll dive right in, go over the aspects. If you're struggling with a tanker aspect of the game, I do have a tips and tricks playlist. Shoot over there. Hopefully there's a vid that can help you out in some way with the game, but diving right into the RU251. So being a light tank right at the beginning of any match, you have to fulfill your role in being a spotter. You want to get eyes on the enemy so you can make decisions on where to go next based on where those spotted enemies are. And also, when spotting the enemy, that's going to help your team also make decisions such as the heavies, the destroyers, and how to position themselves faster compared to the enemy if you can spot them faster. So I went up to an area just behind a bush and just stayed there. Going behind bushes helps with your concealment and improves your camo rating. And I'm being a little, just moving up, taking the precautions, using my view range, using the hills a little bit, and just peeking over and trying to get some visibility. Now we do detect this Conway here. The RU251 does have some gun depression, not 10 degrees like some, so I do use the angles of the hills to help me with that. And the thing about the RU251 is it has absolutely no armor. So in no way can you ever put yourself in a position to rely on your armor. Now, if it weren't for my teammate here, I would have definitely got myself out of there because I would have been the center of attention. But because I have the support from my team, my teammate, and it looks like we've got some pretty good odds here, trying to help him out as much as possible. And he was a little distracted there. And now we're up against this CDC, which is a good tank, but the RU251 does have an amazing DPM. So you'll notice in these replays, I'm constantly looking for opportunities of how to engage and approach distracted targets. I'm constantly looking for where my team is lined up, where the enemy is lined up, where they're focused. I'm using my speed and maneuverability to get me around the map, trying to use my view range, and as you can tell, it really helps maximize the efficiency, using yourself as that support to go where your team or help your team put yourself in those positions to get those flank shots, side shots, whatever it is. And even like right here, coming up from behind the enemy. But the second that you become the focal point of an enemy is the best time you need to disengage from that situation and get yourself in a different situation. So going right in here to the second replay, once again, I have to get myself in a position to spot as fast as I can. So going up behind a bush, once again, helps increase my camo rating. Now, I did detect this IS-3 defender. I didn't think he would have been able to detect me, but understanding the enemy's view ranges can also help you quite a bit. So I wanted to get myself out of there as quickly as possible after being detected, so I didn't become the focal point or take any shots. And here, trying to come up on the flank, putting this destroyer here in quite a bad position. And always, as the RU251, being in situations constantly where if I need to try to flank and I'm looking for those advantageous positions, getting to those to get those opportunistic shots off the enemy. And then anytime I'm in a bad situation, I'll zip around and try to relocate, get myself in where my team is, regroup with them until the focus and attention is off of me. And then once it's off of me, I'll try zipping around looking for those opportunities of distracted targets again. So even here, that defender, Mark 1, has better turret armor, but I was still trying to put myself in a position to utilize my DPM, so once the IS-3 defender had taken a shot, I can pop out, take a shot to support him. So once again, looking for these distracted targets, not tunnel visioning. It's very, very important that you're aware of what's going on the map and that you're constantly paying attention for these things. And I do share this in some of my other tips and tricks videos, but just before also peeking out around a corner or wherever where there's enemies to expose yourself to potentially take a shot, very helpful to use that third person view to see where they're aiming, so you're not exchanging an easy damage shot for them. So Muffin here, hopefully this was helpful. Stay cool and keep tanking.